Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan, and I'm back with another video today. It's going to be a pretty different style of video. My channel, there's a lot of content on VGC, but also a lot of content on Draft League. And today I'm going to be not so much talking about the strategy, because I've done a lot of those before, and I'm sure I'll do them in the future, of how Draft League works, but sort of the mechanics of how it works. For my sample, I'm going to be using Season 3 of the GLDL, which is a league that I'm an admin for that will be starting pretty soon. So, first of all, what exactly is Draft League? Well, in a normal Pokemon match, everybody has access to every Pokemon, so you're building for a large variety. In Draft League, you select the Pokemon that'll be on your roster that you can select from your team. So you know your roster and your opponent's roster for each match. So instead of building from every Pokemon to fight against every Pokemon, you've got a roster of, in this league, you'll have 11 different Pokemon, and you'll know that your opponent also has 11 different Pokemon as well. And then you will get them to match up against each other. The GLDL is a VGC-style best-of-3 league. Show 6, bring 4, which means of your 11, you'll pick 6 to come to your match, and then you will bring 4 to a battle. And then in Game 2, you can bring the same 4, you can bring a different 4, there's no rule against that, but it's VGC style, so that means it's a double battle as well. Now there are also single battle draft leagues that are best of 1, so there's a pretty large variety, so make sure you understand your specific league rules when you get into it. So starting off, how do you select what's on your team? So I'm just going to be drafting for 2 people, Scrub1 and Stout Gaming. So let's say Scrub 1's first pick, they look up and they say, I want to put Roaring Moon on my team. That's a great Pokemon. So Roaring Moon, it's on their team. It'll fill in on their team page here. You'll see its typing, its abilities, its speeds. And then you'll know that Roaring Moon is on your team. Now you don't just get to pick your teams all the way down. Then Stout Gaming comes up. And how do you, in this specifically, how would you denote that you want to draft Roaring Moon? You go into a draft channel, in this case the Basque Legion, I'm a Basque Legion general, but if you go into Basque Legion draft, you can say Scrub 1, that's whoever this is, selects Roaring Moon, and it is a T1. So what does T1 mean? So T1 means it's a tier 1 Pokemon. So you look for Roaring Moon, and it is right here. The admin will mark it off here. The admin will input it in the draft board here. So you see that you have a tier 1, you need 2 tier 2s, 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, and then a bunch of free picks. And I'll explain those when they get there. But let's say Stout Gaming here selects Maushold, which is also a tier 1. So Stout Gaming selects Maushold T1. So then the admins will come in here, go to Maushold, get it marked off. And then everyone else will make their pick, and then it'll come back. So if I wanted Roaring Moon on my team, I couldn't, because Roaring Moon is already off the board. And here, I could pick a tier 2 here, but my free points, if you look at what the rules for this specific league are, there are 5 free slots where you get 300 points. They're denoted next to it, so if tier 1s are 100, tier 2s are 75. So in my 5 free slots, I could, example, have 2 tier 1s, a tier 3, and a tier 4, because that would be 200 plus 50 is 250 plus 25 plus 25 is 300 total. So if I wanted another tier 1 here, I don't have to pick a tier 2 in this next pick, but I do need a minimum of 2 in my total draft. Let's say I wanted Brute Bonnet. We'd go over to our draft chat, and Stout Gaming selects Brute Bonnet T1. So Stout Gaming selects Brute Bonnet T1. The admin will mark it off here. We'll add Brute Bonnet, and it is a tier 1, which costs 100 points. So that means in my free slots, I've only got 200 points left in my free slots. Now Scrub 1 could say in tier 2, let's say they wanted something like Breloom. And then they'd go here, and they've got back-to-back picks because it's a snake draft, which means it goes left to right on odd number rounds and right to left on even number rounds. So Scrub 1 actually gets 2 picks. Let's say they want, what did I say? Breloom T2, and then Scrub 1 selects, let's go with Raboot, which I know is a T4 option. So then the admins would go mark it off on the other page and fill it in here. So they'd go Breloom, Raboot, and then it would be Stout Gaming's pick again. So this will go until the entire rosters are full. I'm just going to fill these in with a bunch of random Pokemon from their tiers really quickly, and I will be right back once I have done that. Alright, so after the entire teams have been drafted, you can see we have Scrub 1's team and Stout Gaming's team. So what does that mean for the regular season? After that, you can see who you play on the schedule. You can see that Stout Gaming and Scrub 1 play week 1. So if I'm Stout Gaming, I'd look at my team matchups here, and then I'd try to pick the 6 Pokemon that I think would be best against this team, and I'd build my team from there, and we would match up, and we would play our best of 3 match. Then we repeat that throughout the season until we get to the playoffs. Again, every league has a slightly different structure. Make sure that you know your league's tiers, your league's rules on transactions. Those are all very important. But I just wanted to break down the basic structure of how draft works and what to expect in it, and I hope you guys can start to enjoy draft leagues as much as I have. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.